Rare Music exclusive.
I grew up like a savage.
Like we're friends, like friends.
So when
friends.
Young Kahono dropped, right?
Yes, I remember that.
Was you managing it?
Yeah.
Weed now is legal.
So and keep in mind that was the. This is the genius of Berner. He got them to wear cookie shirts in that video.
He did.
That was like the initial cookies right there.
He did. And what's crazy about that is, I heard that song. I heard Berner. I heard who he was. I heard about it. The shit kept coming on the radio, and I said, "This nigga made this song with weed."
Yes.
When I heard Chris Brown, and I heard Wiz, I said, "This song was made with peas."
No, this is the thing about Berner, right? So I can't remember how I met Berner, but I met Berner. We end up that's my nigga. So back when he was staying on Sunset, you know what I'm saying? Like we used to do all kind of shit together. You know what I'm saying? My nigga, shout out to my nigga G-Stack. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to G-Stack.
Like that. You know what I'm saying? That might be how I met. Is that how I met Berner? I can't remember, but Berner has always been. He's just been a real solid dude. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
From day one, from the beginning, from everything, and he's always had huge vision. And I remember back when he first started rapping, people used to charge him for verses. They used to try to, you know what I'm saying? Because even when he was doing what he was doing, they weren't doing what they were doing, so they didn't even understand it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, as he elevated, I remember, and I tell him this all the time. I remember the song he made that said, "Nah, nigga, you found it. You figured it out."
Yeah.
It was the song "They." We ended up using it on the Thiz City compilation because Berner was my partner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He rapped, and I fucked with him because I knew what he was rapping about was real. So I had a different perspective of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I know what we really doing. So I fuck with it. But when he made that song "They," I remember calling him. I'm like, bro, you found it, bro. Like this is it, because now you're feeling. You're sending that emotion through what you're saying. You're not just rapping. You know what I'm saying? Because Berner comes from like freestyling, like really like lyrical rapping. That's what people don't realize about him. You throw a beat, that nigga freestyle for about 5 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he love it.
Yeah, Berner can get down. So with him, it was like his hustle was just immaculate, and his vision is just on a whole nother level, just like a complete level. I remember with him making those first cookie shirts in his living room. You know what I'm saying?
He was screen printing them?
Yes, bro. And his vision of what he was going to do, I remember that, bro. I remember the first, you know what I'm saying, designer weed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it was New Wave. Actually, the first real design, that was New Wave. We was doing some shit with New Wave. I remember that. I remember everything and watched this whole progression and everything that he did, and to see his vision, but most importantly, his hard work.
Right.
Like I said, when I lived in LA, I was still on felony probation. So I couldn't get a place in LA because I had a felony. Like nobody would rent to me. So that's why I lived with Berner. So that's why I had to get a place with Berner. So we lived in the same house for shit till 2016 for 5 years.
That's great.
Right?
Yeah.
So
who would have knew that?
I gotta ask you this. Going from then and all them times to getting to 24. 24 is this kid. Now, when you meet 24, is he making records?
Yeah, how I met him was through Big Rich, and it was
shout out Big Rich.
Big Rich was just up there.
I met him.
So
Big
he's
Rich.
Going to Project Level. He's going
to. So I met him the summer he was coming down to USC.
Okay.
So Rich hits me. He's like, "Hey man, I got this kid. I want you to meet. He's finna come to USC, and I just want to make sure he has some resources. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, some people to look out for him.
Right.
So I meet him and Paperboy. And when I meet them, Paperboy is not.
Shout out Paperboy.
Man,
shout out
one of the most solid individuals on the planet Earth.
Shout out
right? So Paperboy, who pushes it like, yeah, that's cool and all, but nigga, he needs you as a manager because he finna blow up, he finna do this, and I believe everything in him. I'm gonna do anything I can to help him. Woo, woo, woo. So just stay energy alone. I'm like, man, I fuck with him. Then I listen to the music, and I'm like, oh shit. This kid has some shit.
Right.
Like this is something special.
He got Valentino already?
He had Valentino and tucked it. He didn't release it because he said, I'm not releasing it until I get That's the song that got him a deal. Mm-hmm. So they heard Valentino and signed him basically off of that song.
Oh, 24Kgoldn is not an artist signed based on metrics.
No, he had nothing out, bro. He literally
and Simba, the last nigga.
Bro, he had literally a song "Ballin' Like Sharif" and like 2 other songs out on SoundCloud. They were doing nothing like that. What happened was he was on I guess it was some Twitter thing, and it was like, hey, send us your songs, whatever. And D.A. Domain was on it, the producer.
Okay,
D.A. got that dope.
Yeah.
D.A. he sends him Valentino. D.A.'s like, oh, this is dope. D.A. at the time just started being an A&R consultant for Record/Columbia.
Who does he buy Valentino beat from?
He didn't buy it. It was off of YouTube, and he took it. It was a whole other story. How I had to end up getting it.
Okay.
So he hears it. He's like, this kid is dope. He meets him, and if you meet him, like you met him, like he's just a star. You know what I'm saying? He's just a great kid, works hard and all of that. So they end up signing him off of nothing. And it's funny because actually I told him, like, man, I don't think you should sign because it's too early. And he's like, man, I'm broke. Right. And I'm about to go to school. You know what I'm saying? I have a scholarship, but I ain't got no money. I'm about to go to USC. I need some money. So I need to do this because the reason why I wanted to come to USC was I'm either going to be in finance or I'm going to make it in the music industry, and I wanted to come here so that way I can build out my, you know what I'm saying, my will well and just meet people to the network. So he wanted to go to USC to network because he was really trying to go to UCLA. Okay. But he got the scholarship for USC. Okay. So he signs with records, and I'm just like, man, I think you should wait because I think the song is so good. You know me, I'm like, we can run it up, independent, whatever. Yeah. So he just signs a good deal, especially at the time with no metrics. And he puts Valentino out in like, I think it's February. Shit doesn't do nothing. Nothing. It comes out, nothing. Then we get to the summer, all of a sudden it starts kind of picking up. Then by the time you get to like August, it blows up because of TikTok. It blows up on TikTok. I guess a girl that he doesn't even really know, some random, she's kind of like an influencer. She just kept doing different TikToks with the song in the background. Okay. And then it just kind of took on, and then it just blew up. But for him, it was a humbling experience because he signs, he knows the song is great, he thinks it's a hit. You know what I'm saying? It comes out and it does nothing. He had to grind it out for 8 months.
Wow. Crazy. So he grind out, because Valentino was just, I don't think people was paying attention, but it was randomly getting spent on Camille. Yeah. So did the label spend money here?
No, the song ended up being platinum out of, like, they spent money in the beginning, like shooting the video and all of that, but it didn't react. So they just thought it was dead in the water. Then it just blew up. That's crazy. So it was damn near double platinum. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people don't realize that song was that big because I think 2 things. If you hear it, you couldn't tell where he was from, number one. But then also, because of his come up, it wasn't through the Bay Area. You know what I'm saying? Right. And when I heard it and I kept hearing it, I was like, this is not the, a program, the song Camille would program. Mm-hmm. This would be programmed at like K-Win or 94.9, but it wouldn't be programmed to Camille. So I'm like, why is it? And it just locked in. It just stayed spinning. Because it was gold at that point. He's from San Francisco.
Yeah, they had to.
You look crazy.
So the beat was on YouTube. Some of those free beats, free instrumentals.
No, it wasn't free. It was a producer on YouTube, Black Mayo. So now when it's time to put the record out, it was 2 records he had. It was Ballin' Like Sharif and Black Mail was by this producer. Okay. Ballin' Like Sharif was already out. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And then Valentino wasn't out. So how the world just works is the dude's manager just happens to be the same dude that assigned OMB Peasy. So I already had a relationship with him, Zeke. So I hit him. He's like, yeah, I'm managing the producer, but these beats are both for Lil Mosey. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't give him up. And I'm like, bro, I don't care about other one. I just need this one. Right. What do we have to do? And he just looked out and convinced him to sell me the beat.
Oh, that was dope. That was dope. Did he overcharge?
No, not at all.
Okay, yeah. So does he still work with that guy?
Black Mail? Yeah. Nah, he never met him.
Oh, he never met him.
He took the beat. It was online, and it was like one of those YouTube beats.
Oh, YouTube beats. Right. Yeah. So
they ended up trying to do some work. I don't think anything stuck though.
So in the process of recording now, Valentino blows up, but y'all working?
Yeah, like this to the point was crazy is So because before it even come out and all of that, like we brought him to Outside Lands for the SOB shit, you know what I'm saying? And he had actually opened up for SOB when they did the Warfield. Nobody knew. Like,
you hear this, guys? He opened up for SOB.
Yeah, he was grinding the whole time, and nobody was really kind of paying attention. But I thought it was really for all artists. I always make sure that, because touring is really important, not just for, you know what I'm saying, you can make money, but you have to have a connection with your fans, and that's how you learn what works and what doesn't musically. Because it's cool, people can like your song, but if you see the reaction.
Right.
And I also like to see what somebody's gonna do when nobody knows him, and that's why I fucked with him so much, because nobody knew him, they didn't care, but he gave the performance of his life that he could.
So when the songs were done, okay, Valentino is done, is going. At what point do he like start recording with other people?
No, he had been recording with people doing the whole time.
So like with Ian Dior and all those people,
we might have to edit this part, but he actually wrote most of his first project.
Oh shit!
So what happened was, when he did the deal, when we did the deal with records, I didn't feel as if like he had the right A&R source.
Okay.
So we had him do a publishing deal with APG, so they could be the A&R source.
Okay.
Through APG, the first thing they do is they put him in the studio, and he's a workaholic, so he's just knocking out songs. So he ends up writing. So he had wrote a lot of songs before Valentino blew up. So that time frame where his songs is so for him it was weird, because it's like, man, that's how the relationship came. Is he had wrote most of the first project and then wrote some other songs with him, and they ended up being friends.
Now I get it, because I'm like, so 2-4 just a workaholic.
Yes.
Because he seemed like he seemed like an athlete.
That's one thing I say to people. I think that the best artists are athletes, because they understand structure and practice and all of that. But what I learned from him was everything is scheduled. You know what I'm saying? Like he is the best at time management I've ever met in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think just for you to get to where he did as far as schooling, you have to. You know what I'm saying? So
how old is he?
Everything. He's 20. He's about to be 21 in November. But time management, he's really, really good, and I learned that from him. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally scheduling, and just, you know what I'm saying, you have this much time for this, move on, woo. That's one of the biggest things I've learned from him. He's definitely the best.